When you go into medicine, you also find that medicine has very little to do with healing the sick, with social service. Medicine is primarily a business, and you learn a whole vocabulary to disguise that business. You have a business, but you call it a practice. You have customers, but you call them patients. And you charge them prices, but you call that fees. And you market a service, but you call it medicine. And what's happened, of course, with medicine is that the plundering got so bad with medical care and public funding that we took public resources and channelized them not into a public nonprofit service with a good and ample salary to the doctor, which he should get, but we instead channelized it right into this private business. We took the public money and gave it to the private business. Therefore, it became in the interest of the private business to sell you as much service as they could. There was a limitation before. The limitation was your pocketbook. But now that you have publicly funded insurance, I will run tests through, $300, $400, $500 worth of tests, even if you may not need it. I'll put you up in a hospital because I'm a shareholder in that hospital, and we'll charge $200 a night for your stay. And you go on like this. And what happened through the 1970s on into the early 80s is that with all the years of recession and all, while corporate profits were going like this, wobbly and all that, and growth was slumped to 1%, 2%, and even a few negative years of growth, 80, 81, 82. The medical industry was going like this in terms of its growth and its profits, to the point where the medical capitalists were cutting into the profits of the non-medical capitalists. So that a corporation like General Electric would complain that one of their biggest single budget items was the insurance costs for their employees. And it was getting so bad that the rest of the capitalist class decided that the doctors were ripping off too much, and they've gotten the laws changed. There's now a move toward what is called cost treatment, I think it is. So now you, instead of before, let's say if you had pneumonia, I'm the doctor, I'll bring you in, you stay for 3 weeks, I'll give you every test imaginable, give you all sorts of medicines, maybe even treatments and things you don't need, but out of that, I clean up $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 out of you, let's say, in those weeks. Not out of you, out of the public insurance program. Now the government says, no, if someone's got pneumonia, that's going to be a limit of $2,000, let's say. Now the profit motive operates the other way, which is I will make as much profit not by piling services onto you, but by giving you as little as possible. If I get $2,000 for a pneumonia patient, it's better that I give you $1,000 worth of service and I make $1,000 profit. So now what you're having is people being sent home who aren't fully recovered, people being sent home without adequate diagnoses and so forth and so on, so that the boys can clean up. So that's how the profit motive works. Whether the money is coming in or the money is tightening up, if it comes in, it's being plundered. If it tightens up, then we get the cost of that. That's because medicine in this country is organized as a business. This is, by the way, not necessarily a reflection on individual doctors. There can be doctors who are very dedicated people who try to do decent by their patients and all that, but who are working in a system that is organized that way and who eventually have to charge those kind of fees, who eventually have to worry about that sort of thing, who have their malpractice insurance, blah, blah, all these other kinds of things. And as private entrepreneurs, they begin to act like private entrepreneurs. You are what you do, as Marx said, regardless of what your intentions might sometimes be.